Well, YouTube, this is a new video. This is video one of this new series I'm going to start. Is it worth it still, or is it not? Today we're going to be looking at a Dell Latitude D630. And I apologize for the video being late. I've not had much time to try making videos. I've tried making it a couple times, but I've always run into issues. But I'm going to try this time to see if I could get through this without any pressures or anything like that. Believe it or not, I just tried recording about 1 minute ago, and I was almost done, and then I accidentally hit the power button and the computer shut off, and it was also not functioning well at the moment, so it's not the computer's fault, it's the stuff I have installed. So anyway, it's a Dell Latitude D630, I already mentioned. It's 5 pounds, has an Intel Core 2 Duo at 1.80 gigahertz. Integrated graphics, well, just like basic, because this is more business grade machine. And if you caught my first video, well, it's not even really a video, it's just like a channel update. Caught my channel update, this was mentioned in there with another laptop I found. And they didn't come with a power adapter, but I went back to the center a couple weeks later and they threw away a Dell power adapter, which was nice, so I could use it on both laptops. So this was kind of huge. This wasn't meant for either one of the laptops, but you could still use it on that. Anyway, it also has 4 gigs of RAM. When I found it, it only had 2, and then back when it was released in 2006, it only had 512 megabytes. And I know there's sites like Crucial is going to say on their website saying that, well, you can put 8 gigs of RAM in here. Well, one, that's expensive. There's either 2 ways. You could put 2 4 gig DDR2 RAM sticks in there, which might work, but that's really expensive. Or you could put 1 8 gig DDR2 RAM stick in there, but like I said before, that's expensive. And do you really need more than 4 gigs at the moment? Anyway, like I said, there's only 4 gigs in here, and that seems to drive everything just fine. Anyway, how I acquired it, I was at the recycling center, and this guy, one of the employees, told me usually after Christmas people throw away their old computers because they get new ones, and they don't need these old ones anymore, so they're just going to give them to us. So they said you could go and take them. So I was like, okay, thanks, because at the time I was trying to find computers, and kind of still am at the moment, but I was trying to find cheap computers because I heard they used to throw stuff away. But anyway, so I went there one day, I saw these 2, having no idea what I would do with them, but I just swiped them, and then I just carried on my day with that, so anyway, I tried using this for old school Windows XP gaming. I couldn't do that because it has pretty terrible integrated graphics, as like I just mentioned a couple minutes ago. So I'm gonna and I bought a Windows XP installed this, so I'm just gonna force install on one of my more modern computers. But I still keep this around just because I like the way it looks. It looks like a professional business grade. Well, actually it's a business grade, but it just looks like a professional laptop. Like you bring this to somewhere and it just looks like this guy knows what he's doing. Like it just looks that professional. Doesn't look damaged really on the outside. You got a little scuff, but I've seen worse condition laptops. I've seen laptops just broken to bits. So this is nothing. And it worked. And the battery still worked when it was inside, so anyway, that's enough with the story. Let's get to the ports, or connectors, whatever you want to call them. Starting from left to right, we have a Kenson security lock to secure your computer from theft, a ventilation port, microphone, headphone, a FireWire, an IEEE or 1394 connector, and a wireless on-off switch. Also, I know the FireWire thing connector is also called several other things, but that's just the main 3 things it's called. And what most people miss under these computers, not taking anybody out, I'm not calling anybody out, I'm just saying, they sometimes miss that there's a smart card slot under here, which is kind of nice. Otherwise you would have to use a USB to smart card slot. Anyway, it was nice it came built in. And this is not a modern Express Card 54. This is the old style PMCIe card bus slots for expansion. Same as Express Card, but more old style. Did not come with that protective thing that you would mostly find in more modern things. But this also Express thing wasn't broken off, so that was nice. You would expansion wise, I mean, you could add more firewire connectors, USB, or maybe audio jacks for more expansion. But that was nice that you still get this on the computer. And under here, which looks like it's broken, but no, the hard drive is under here. Anyway, that's all on the left. Let's see the front. The front, just a place of plastic molding. The speakers, which are really hard to miss unless you're actually looking at the computer at an angle. The latch, which still does work. And the battery, which still held a charge. You could get about 3 hours. And I'm just going to apologize ahead if I mention several more times you could get about 3 hours. I might forget. Get about 3 hours out of the battery. I didn't replace it. And yes, if you watch Austin Evans or some other YouTube channel, they might mention these 2006 batteries exploded. That has not happened to me yet, or hopefully never. Either way, these batteries were known to explode. But like I just mentioned, that never happened to me. But I do keep a close eye on this just to make sure it doesn't get into like extreme temperatures where the batteries might warp or something. Anyway, that's enough on the front. Let's see the side. Oh, the right side. Nothing. A CDRW drive. Well, CDRW drive, which could also be switching out with another hard disk. So you can have 2 dual hard disks in the computer. Zip drive, a DVD drive, or a floppy drive or a zip drive. I think I just mentioned one of them twice, but you can switch out with one of those. Or another battery, because there are battery connectors back there. And to remove it, just pull that out. Everything works. There should also be a supporting screw, but it was missing when I got the computer, and I haven't gone to the extent to find it. But that locks it in place, so that's fine. And this probably isn't recommended, but you could actually pull this out and stick a small phone in there, and actually have a small little USB cable going into there. I did that just to joke around, but if your phone is actually small enough, you could actually just have it like that. Or if you didn't have any desk space, you could just put your phone in there while having the cable run into there. It's not recommended, but I just did it for fun. And 2 USB 2.0 ports, which are horizontally stacked, which I have not seen in any computer. Well, unless you count a desktop, but any laptop computer, I've not seen horizontally stacked USB ports. Very interesting. Anyway, let's see the back. Oh, just before I mention the ports on the back, I forgot to mention there's an indicator light, which you'll see when the computer's turned on. Anyway, from left to right, excuse me for saying that. Well, excuse me. That's just my light. You have an Ethernet connector, 56K dial-up fax modem, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, which are vertically stacked on their side. Not good if you have one of those USB flash drives that need to go in there and then they take up 2 ports. Kind of sucks though. So you need like a hub or anything. Anyway, something you will not see on any modern computer are a serial connection. if you're wondering what serial is, it was just USB. USB of the late 90s. You could do stuff with it, the same thing with USB, but it's not found in any modern computers. It was just used for you could connect trackballs, mice, other stuff like that. And if, you might actually confuse this with VGA. I know they look nothing alike, but they kind of look just a little bit similar. Anyway, and VGA video output, like I sort of just mentioned a couple seconds ago. And the DC power input. And more ventilation. Anyway, let's see the bottom. And before some of you go question this, like, no, yes, there was a case right there. It's right over there. I just took it off because I don't want anyone seeing the product key. I just flipped it over, but anyway, I don't want anyone seeing the product key. It's Windows XP Professional, so it's pretty old, but still I don't want anyone seeing it. Removable battery, which still does hold the charge like I mentioned before. Those two clips to remove it. And what I already mentioned before, the hard disk. These two screws run right there and one right there. Take them out, get access. And the hard disk, if I didn't mention before, it's a 5400 RPM, 80 gigabytes Toshiba hard disk, which is stock, and I don't think it was tinkered with. And I was mentioning before, there should be a screw right there locking this so no one can take it out. But it was there and I haven't got the extent to find it. Or put a new screw there. Anyway, little dock connector, which will not work on any modern docks. I knew someone who had it, so I just tried it just to be sure. It didn't fit at all. It just hovered above the dock. And more ventilation if I didn't mention already. Anyway, the RAM. So there's 4 gigs in here. It had 2 of these 1 gigabyte sticks in here. But I found another laptop and I took its 4 gigs out and put in here. This was in dire need of more RAM or an SSD. I didn't have any money for an SSD at the moment, so I just put in more RAM. And if you're wondering, shouldn't there be 2 RAM slots? Like the other one is under the keyboard, which is painfully annoying to get to. I'll leave a link in the description to an iFixit site, so if you really need to go tinker with it, or you want to switch out some other stuff, I'll leave a link there. But anyway, let's see the top. If I didn't already mention before, I like it when, well, the logo's upside down, but I like it when laptops have the logo in the middle. Like, I'll do a later video on the other laptop I was talking about, but I like when they look in the middle. It just looks like this guy knows what he's doing. Like, it just looks professional. Also, this is plastic, but it's like really hard plastic. Like, it feels like you take some abuse. Anyway, I'm pretty sure some of you really want to see it be turned on, so let's get to that. I just did a quick cut there. I cut the lamp. Well, I cut my light in my room. I mean, in the room I'm in right now. Look like a tech lab-ish, yeah. So, let's see, full-size American US keyboard layout. With, some of the added function keys up top. But you usually find a full-size keyboard. And the embedded number pad. Power button, they're all dedicated volume buttons, which is nice. Checkpoint, trackpad, extra button for that. And in the side, which thankfully wasn't scratched off, Intel Core 2 Duo inside, designed for Windows XP. And there's a function key, so you could just flip some of those on. Dell. There is no webcam, which is pretty obvious. When this laptop was released, the only computers mostly had webcams were starting to were netbooks or the early MacBook Pros when they transitioned away from the PowerPC. But I think you could go use a USB webcam, so it's not all lost. Anyway, let's see it turned on. And more ventilation right there. And those lights turned on. Comment down below if you also feel nostalgic for Windows XP. And I know some of you are going to comment down also saying that Windows XP is dangerous, it hasn't been supported. As long as you don't do anything really bad, like downloading stuff from sites or really do anything with, or do, like, I don't know, go on websites for no reason whatsoever, just for fun. You could still use the internet. There was another user on here. I didn't delete him because some of his personal apps like Word and stuff went to here. It's an old version of Word, but it still went to this account. I did add a password though, so no one could take this computer from me. When I take it places, if they ever do, they won't like take it from there and then gain control to everything. There's ways around it, but I just did that when I'm in places, so no one could really steal. Type in my password. Hopefully I typed it in right. There we go. Oh, the screen is also 14.1 inches. I didn't mention that yet, but just stayed in there. If you're running with that little clicking sound, it's the fan. I think I need to go clean it out. Blow some air in there. Get rid of the light. Load up pretty fast with the stock hard drive. Just gonna give it a minute so it can catch itself. Oh, the CMOS battery is also still good in here, which was nice. It was at least keeping the date. 1 point went out, almost 2 hours still left in the battery. More enough to guess there. Anyway, I'm pretty sure some of you are curious to see the specifications, so let's go to that. It's just a shortcut someone taught me. I know I'm probably being a little paranoid, but there's the product key is sort of spells up there, so I'm just exiting out. But right there, Intel Core 2 Duo, 180 GHz. They subtract the amount of RAM. I don't like that. It's kind of confusing. I actually had a computer that only had 1 gig of RAM there, but it reported only back about 900 megabytes. So that was kind of confusing at the time because I wasn't as tech savvy as I am now. So that was kind of annoying, but I later found out that it subtracts the amount. So I like when Apple, because I use Apple products a little bit, but I like when Apple doesn't subtract the amount, it actually shows you how much. But I just have to remind myself the computer subtracts the amount of RAM. So go to the internet. You might be asking why aren't you using Google Chrome. Google Chrome hasn't been supported for years. So also trying to play YouTube on there is terrible. I would not it's pretty bad. It would stutter. I don't know if it's the computer itself or it would just stutter a lot. And Internet Explorer hasn't been updated either in years, so wouldn't recommend those two. I will actually probably do a follow-up video, this running Windows 7, and maybe another video showing that maybe best browsers for Windows XP, because I did some testing. And I already know Firefox isn't going to be supported for very much longer. Kind of sucks, but you can at least still get on here, do some stuff. So I don't know, let's go to YouTube. Now, it wasn't a bet or anything, but I actually used this computer for like a week, and I didn't miss my other computers. Typed up papers, did work on it, and watched YouTube, did a little bit of lollygagging. But I used it perfectly, like it was just. But the place I did go to, it has like this weird internet, so whenever you probably close the computer or shut the lid, if you put in sleep, the internet will forget you, so you have to go sign in again. And since this computer is old, it has trouble getting that sign-in feature back. But just kind of avoid that area so something happens. Windows 7 kind of fixed it, but then again, it didn't. But here's the thing: you could update the hardware, but old hardware is still old hardware. No matter how much you try. That video I was making before. Nothing loaded this fast. And if any of you actually wanted to see it, I deleted it because I'm using up all my space. Please excuse M&M in the bottom right corner. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'm not signed in, by the way, if you probably didn't catch that, so I don't know where these videos are coming from. Sometimes that happens. If you just click continue, just give it a second to catch itself, everything will smooth itself out. I didn't even scroll down, I don't know why I just did that, but since websites require much more RAM than they did back in the day, so it would chew up RAM, and like I said, 2 gigs, that was almost an impossibility, but 4 gigs at least gave it a little bit of headroom. Just play a video to show what you can do on it. Your 60p, fine. You might see a little bit of drop frames, but you gotta remember this computer is from 2006. It's amazing that you could even play this. Yeah, computer might drop some, but if you watch like a lot of lyric videos or anything like that, like you won't really notice it. But if once you jump into places like where there's a bunch of motion, the computer might slow itself down due to age. Since YouTube does require a lot of horsepower. Oh, I'm not dragging that. What are you doing? Just loaded up another YouTube video, but I mean another YouTube page. Oh, let's just type in as Please excuse any graphic things that might actually pop up. I have no idea. I just typed in news. Just to show. Scrolling is fine. Yeah. You can light game on here, like really light game, like something that doesn't require much of anything. Might actually be seeing Minecraft on here, but it's some tinkering you gotta do to get it. The first thing is, like, you can't run the latest version. I tried, the computer took forever to load. Then when it did, I got like 1 FPS or 2 FPS. That was it, nothing higher. Even when I lowered the settings, it couldn't do it. Then I tried beta 1.7.3. A little bit better, lowered the settings, didn't help. Then I went all the way to the first version that's still available. Yeah, Alpha Road. That you could technically play. Here's the thing, you'll play it for a couple minutes and then the computer will just glitch and lag. So I don't know what it is, it will play fine for a couple minutes but then it just won't. So I don't know if there's an issue with that or all the computers that are like that. I don't know exactly, but as you can see, it's the old launcher, which is really weird. Which I actually more prefer, so I guess due to the age of Windows XP, it's just going to try its best. See? What? You really want me to log in? Let me just pause here. I'm showing the top half so you guys can't see my name or anything. Oh, I just more prefer the old launcher. That's normal. It might say that you might run into some graphical glitches, but I haven't ran into any of those. If you're really bored, you just play this. If you just want, it's not really running smooth at the moment. There's only 2 blocks, and you can only choose one of them. World's not even loading in at all. There's the 1 block. But you still can sort of game on here. Well, you can still sort of modern game. Just remember that the controls are actually switched. Left click is place, right click is destroyed. Just remember that. I'm not sponsoring my Play City, or this place. I'm just saying these 2 are the best sites to get some old free games, which I prefer. You can also put Steam on here, but like you just saw the performance of Minecraft. I don't know how well that's going to perform. Anyway, that's about it. Please comment or subscribe. See more content on my channel. Anyway, thanks for watching.